time. First time. This is exciting.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. How are you awake? Because you've been at the muster all weekend too.
Well, I'm a well-behaved human being these days, so I was in bed early each night, and yeah, we drove home Saturday night. So
You've had a couple of days.
yeah.
Yeah. How many times have you been to the muster?
That's my second time at the muster. I was a long time ago. I couldn't even tell you exactly when, but probably 11 or 12 years ago, I went as a band member to play acoustic guitar for someone, and I was not that good at guitar. So I don't have great memories of that time, and I'm counting this muster as my first ever.
This is your first. Well, hopefully it's got good memories with it. It sounds like it definitely does.
This one does, yes.
Yeah, very special weekend for you. Kaz has jumped in the room and said hi, and she even said that you are one to watch, trust me. And we know that Kaz knows her music, so you know that.
Hey,
definitely Kaz. I know we always start when someone hasn't been on the show with hearing your story of how you got into music and how you got to where you are today, releasing your current single and all your debut single, because you've got a great musical story. You've done so many different things. So tell us a little bit about you and how you've traveled to get where you are.
Yeah, well, I am fortunate enough to be from a big family, and all of which are pretty musical. So we all play guitar and sing to some extent. I've got 2 beautiful parents and 5 older brothers and sisters.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so my sister Shanae showed me 4 chords on the guitar once, and she tried to show me the 4 of the hardest chords to play, which didn't stop me. I was 10 at the time. And all I did was just annoy everyone in the house with my constant overplaying of those 4 chords. And then eventually I wrote a song to it, and I learnt some more chords.
You've really taught yourself just to write songs. It's just come naturally.
Well, yeah, again, I mean, I'd watched my family write songs and sing them to each other. It just seemed like the normal thing. So when it came time to writing a song, it came really naturally. And it was kind of a like, look at me, I can do it too kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah. How special. And I know growing up in a music family, you can't beat that level of experience and enjoyment that I imagine that you guys all had and probably still do have when you're around each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Campfires are fun. Christmases, if we ever get together, are really fun too.
Lots of fun. Now, are you all country fans? Are you all
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And we don't discriminate, but yeah, absolutely. Country music's where it's at.
Yeah. And you're right. Any music live is amazing, but I think country music's definitely got a really good following now, which is lovely to see.
Yeah, and I think I was doing country music long before it was cool.
Yes, me too. There's a few songs that talks about that, and I'm like, yeah, I was definitely one of them. And I don't mind. I still wouldn't change a thing. I don't want to be anywhere else. This is home. We are lucky here.
Yeah.
From growing up, learning guitar at young, and being the youngest of, you've been able to watch and learn from everyone else's mistakes, which is pretty special. Tell us a bit about where you went then. You've done so many things. I don't know where to start. So yeah, tell us where you headed after you learnt your writing.
Well, I left school when I was 15. In Georgetown, the little town that I grew up in, we didn't have a high school, so all of the kids, once they get to that age, get sent to a boarding school. And it's quite normal for us. We're very well prepared. We understand that's what happens. But yeah, I didn't do so great at boarding school, and I went from the age of 12 to 15 at boarding school. And I just decided I wanted to go and chase cows instead and ride horses. So that's what I did.
I can understand that. That is where I would have preferred to have been.
Yeah, and you could just leave school back then and go and start working. It was, I don't
Yeah.
know if you can still do that, but yeah, then you
No,
could.
we were very lucky. We could definitely do that. Would you change that now? Are you
No,
glad that you? Yeah.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think there's a lot of life experience had between where I am today, sitting with you, and where I was then. And
Yeah.
I couldn't have got that if I'd have stayed at school. I couldn't have got that if I had changed any part of what happened in the past. So yeah, I wouldn't change a thing, mate. I'd do it all again. It was
That is
hard,
how
but I'd do it
it is.
again.
Yes. Yeah. I don't believe in regrets. I don't think that you can't change it, so why regret it? But I think
Yeah.
it helps you. It shapes all of us, and I think it just, yeah, we always end up where we're meant to be, one
Yeah.
way or the other. So right, at the age of 15, going into working on the farm, working with cattle and horses, and your training of horses and things, did that shape some of your songwriting at the time? Were you still working on music, or did you take a bit of a break at 15?
Yeah, no, I always had a guitar with me.
Yep.
I think the first place I went and worked, I didn't have a guitar to take with me. And I talked about it so much that my boss sent his wife into town, with probably 5 or 6 hours away, and she was going to do some groceries and pick up some other things that we needed, and she bought me a guitar and brought it back and
Wow.
surprised me. So I knew from then I needed to have a guitar with me all the
Yep.
time for my sanity, because it just made the experience so much better, and it made me feel far more comfortable, like I was missing a part of
Yes.
me or something. Yeah.
That is interesting to not, to feel it and not actually realize that's what you were feeling. That is really
Yeah.
special.
Yeah, I didn't know at the time so much
Wow.
until she came back with it. Yeah.
And after that, you could entertain everybody. So really, for their point of view, it's fantastic.
Well, it might have
Brilliant.
been a bit of that annoying thing where I just kept playing over and over and over again. But
I wrote this one an hour ago, and you keep
yeah.
playing it for the next few weeks. Yeah. Oh dear. And then from there, you've gone into horses and training horses, and then into you've done so much. I don't really know where to go from there. You've done so much, but
Well,
music.
I guess after that I turned 18 and went to the Gold Coast. Yeah, for the Australian Outback Spectacular.
Yes.
Yeah.
That I've always wanted to go and see that. I've been to the pre-show because I'd had Callum and Jackson doing a couple of weeks of the pre-show, but I've never got to go to the full concert. So tell us about it and how you got involved with that.
Well, I auditioned a few years beforehand. I think I was 16. I sent in a video audition. I had a friend who was working there, Shandell Tassoni, and she had some horses up at her place in Dimbula, and she said, just go and jump on one of my horses, film yourself singing a couple of songs and riding the horse, and send it in. And they asked me to come down and do an in-person audition, and I just couldn't make it. So a few years later, I went with a friend to watch the show, and she worked for a magazine as a photographer, and she wanted some help just to have someone with her. And we got to go backstage and meet some of the cast and take photos in the arena. And we met some of the furry cast as well, some of the horses and the dogs. And when we sat down to watch the show, management came out and asked me if I was Mitchell Steele, and they remembered my video audition, and
Oh my goodness.
they asked if I would stay after the show and do an audition for them then. And so that's how I started at the Outback Spectacular. Yeah.
They must have been impressed with your audition tape to remember it a few years later and see you there. That is so exciting. And then
Yeah.
you were there for quite a while. Did you enjoy that time on the show?
Yeah, so I was lucky enough to do 3 shows for the Australian Outback Spectacular. And I would sort of come and do 2 years at a time, 2 years on this show, and then I'd leave for a bit of time, and luckily I'd never burn a bridge, so I'd come back and they'd have me back to do the next show. I think it helps being someone that's versatile. So I was a singer, and I could also ride a horse. I could do a bit of acting, which I didn't know, but I'd learned a bit of acting there as well. And
Yeah.
honestly, I just spent all that time riding horses with my new friends, and it was
Yeah.
such a great experience, and I would never trade it for the world. I'd live that all over again as well.
Being paid to sing music, spend time on horses, and making friends the entire time. It sounds like it was awful.
Yeah.
Sounds perfect. And Robert just said that he saw you performing at the Outback Spectacular in 2019 and that you were a very good singer.
Hi,
It makes me
thanks.
so interested. I want to have go and watch it. Next time I'm up there, I have to go. And
Yeah.
Susan popped in and she said that she loved the new song. Jonathan said to say hi. There's lots of people popping in. Let
Thanks.
us know, everybody, where you're watching from. There's lots of people commenting, so thank you so much.
Yeah, cool.
And yeah, and all of this has brought you to where you are. And I know that you met Kasey. I was reading you met her when you were doing the Country Music College. And
Yep.
so you met, what year did you do the college?
So I did the academy this year in January.
This year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty recent.
Yep, right.
Right. Yeah.
So what I've been able to make happen in the last 6 or 7 months is insane, and not without the help of the people around me. Yeah.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's a great thing that we have going with CMAA.
Yeah.
It's an experience that you really cannot get anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's a great concept to have a scholarship that you can have students come and teach them about the industry and teach them about the things that you may not learn just out there in the wild. And also the connections that you make. We probably harp on a bit about that, but you really do make good friends, hey, and good industry connections.
Yes, and I think especially in Australia, that's so important, the connections in this industry, because we all back each other, we all support each other. We're all like, hey, I've got a spare bed, or I've got your voice would go great, or your writing skill would go great with this person, and we link each other up. It is really all done by that connection, I think, in this country.
Yeah.
What does Robert say? Watching from Brisbane, are you touring anywhere near Brisbane? And that you did well with Felicity. Was that on the weekend?
Yes. Thanks, Robert, by the way. I don't plan on being in Brisbane in the immediate future, but that's not to say it's off the cards. So keep an eye on my social media for anything like that. And he's saying I did well at to be up beside Felicity Kircher, and he's absolutely right. Felicity Kircher's a brilliant talent, and I got to share the stage with her and Kasey Chambers at the Gympie Muster. So yes, I'm a lucky boy.
Very special. And Friday, you released your debut single, "Worn Out West." Tell us a bit about how this one came about. How long ago did you write this? Was it a recent write?
Yeah, "Worn Out West" was written recently with, luckily, I'm so grateful to have written this one with Kasey Chambers and Brandon Dodd. It was one of our first songs that we wrote together, and it kind of just fell out of us, to be honest. But one of my favorite things about writing with Kasey is she doesn't settle for second best. So if you're writing and it's just not quite what she's looking for, and she just doesn't settle. And I appreciate that. I think you can find a really wonderful artistry with that, and definitely you can create some really great music. And I think that's what we've done.
I think what it does when you're not settling is it pushes you to get the best out of yourself, but also the difference between a good song and a great song is the fact that someone hasn't settled and hasn't rushed it and gone, that'll do. You know, you wait till you get it right, and it has to be right for you to be able to put that all into it and fully believe in it. And I think you can definitely tell the difference to someone writing to rush it and writing and releasing when it's ready.
Yeah, it just creates this like respect for your art. and within yourself more than anything. Not to mention that I think the ears out there that hear the songs appreciate it.
Yes.
But definitely within yourself, it's just important not to settle. You've got so much to give, so why not wait for it to come out, or push a bit harder.
And we were talking before we went live about that, being ready and getting to where you are. What was it with Worn Out West and now in your life, do you think, that made you go, now's the time to release this song? Was it just timing, Gympie? Like, what made you go, here, let's do it now?
Well, I chose the date, and it is a pretty flooded market in August, as I'm sure you know.
Yes,
but I just wanted to get something out as soon as I could, and we planned. I mean, we didn't rush this song at all. It's been planned, everything along the way. So the production of it is just so good. We're so proud of it. And yeah, I think it just says who I am. It says what I'm about, and it's an honest and raw and authentic idea of what it was like for me to grow up in such an isolated corner of the world, and being such a big dreamer to be a country music singer. So that we kind of encapsulated all of that pretty well, I think.
You have. It is a really good song. I was talking before you jumped on with Scott how much we love this one and how we've been wearing it out. Guys, while that is on the screen, if you haven't heard the song already, the QR code there will take you to all of the places that you want to listen to music from, and you can actually jump on in once we finish and forward through to this moment and scan it then as well. So if you haven't heard it, when the show's finished, go over and then let us know in the comments what you thought of it if you haven't already heard. This one is Scott was very excited about this interview, and so have I been, because when I heard the song, when I first listened to it, it's so hard to believe that it is your debut single, because you just sound so comfortable in that storytelling. You are fully there in the way that you tell the song, and I love the sound. It's so good to see. How did it feel Friday? Was you nervous coming to that moment, or just ready?
Well, like, I have never released music before. You're right. This is my debut. So I've recorded music before, and I just somehow I knew that I wasn't ready in the sense that I'm a planner. I like to have a bit of an idea, even when it's something you can't plan. I like to have a run through of it or something, so that you've got an idea, right? And to release music, you just can't do that. You just can't. You don't get a second run at it. Well, I mean, you do, but you just get better at it, right?
Yeah.
But you don't get a second run at that first debut. So, I mean, we just kind of, I don't know. I just knew this was the song. It had to be this one for sure.
Yeah. Just spoke to you. It felt right.
Yeah.
As we were saying, like before we went live, you're never really ready to release your first song. You'd never really 100% know. But as we're saying, like, I do think it gets to a point when you have to know that. And once you know that, you then that's when you go, well, now maybe I'll take the leap now. But I think when you find the right song, you just also know that's the one that you're comfortable with. And if you're comfortable with it and you love it, the audience is going to hear that and feel that.
Yeah, I would hope so. You're right.
Yes. Have you had many comments and things from people since releasing on Friday? Like, it's just come out?
Yeah, I've had a lot of support from friends and family. Obviously, they're really proud of me. They've sort of waited a long time for something to come out, and they all want another song already.
Me too. I agree. I want another one.
Well, we did record a whole album, so you will have it soon.
I wasn't sure how much you're allowed to tell us, but I know that you have been working on your album, and ready to go. How is that feeling? That's a pretty special thing too, going from debut single. I've also got an album.
Yeah, well, when I met with Kasey in Tamworth, we got to sing. She invited me up at the pub to sing with her father, Bill Chambers, who's a legend in the industry. And I was all too excited to say yes. And when I got up, on stage with them and we played together. We played a couple of songs, and it was when we jumped off stage that there was a buzz about, I was buzzing and Kasey was buzzing and Bill was buzzing, and Kasey came over and grabbed me and she said, I think we need to do an album. We'd sort of
Wow.
about doing an EP or 4 or 5 songs, and we'd only known each other 2 days at that stage. And
you just met.
that's the feeling that we get from each other when we're on stage. It's just electric, and she's like a real sibling energy that I've sort of had. It's like I've known her forever. And when we got off stage, that's what she said. We need to do an album. And I said, right, let's do it.
We're not going to sit there and go, no, I don't think we should. Yeah.
Yeah, no way.
No, I don't like that idea. Yeah.
Let's do it.
So since then, you've been writing, obviously, for the album. Did you have anything that you had written ready for an album before that moment that is on that? I know you probably can't tell us a lot about it yet, but
I will tell you, I have written and recorded the entire album. It's done.
Wow.
So,
and you're sitting on it. How are you sitting on it? That must be so hard.
It is the best thing I think I've heard ever.
Wow.
I'm not like, I don't know, as artists, we can sometimes not always love our own stuff.
Yes.
And if I've learnt anything in the last 6 months, it's just I'm so grateful for what I do create and to hang on to it. And I just really loved myself through this whole process and allowed myself to feel anything. I said yes to tears. I said yes to giggles. I said yes to every emotion that came along. And I successfully wrote about 16 beautiful songs, and I did have about 4 pre-written that I thought would make the album, but only a couple of them made it, and that's just because some of the songs that are on there are just so good.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. One of my favorite things when getting to do this is really I think we're all in this industry, all of us, we're all music fans. We're all here because of our love for music, and we all start as fans, don't we? But I think one of my things that I love when I talk to artists, and especially it's even more exciting being your first album and your first piece of your story that's there to telling us about who you are, like your diary that you're opening up. But I love hearing how you started with 4 songs that you thought would be the album, and then you go, well, actually, they didn't all make it. But I love those stories, and I love hearing how that comes about, and then sitting there and going, okay, I've got an album and I've got this many songs, I can only put this on it, and how you go through that process of choosing which song to put next. Do you do it from a storytelling point of view? Do you do it just from what feels right in the moment? How do you get to the point of going, yes, this is the final?
I think it comes down to a feeling mostly. And there's a lot of variables as well. Sometimes I like an album to sort of hold hands with itself. So each song should have something similar, some sort of pattern that ties it all together. Yeah. And sometimes a song in my catalogue just doesn't quite fit that hand-holding sort of nature. So I think that the process is always different. But definitely it naturally came about with this album. I think only 1 song we recorded I'm not going to put out just yet. And that's the same to say for all of the songs that didn't make the album just yet. They're always going to be there, and they're beautiful songs, but they might just be for the next one. And when I listen to this album, one song after another the whole way through, they tie in so beautifully that I know that we've made the right choice.
When you can sit there and listen to it from 1 through to the end song, and you feel it. And that's what I love. I love putting an album on. I like getting into the car. When you guys send through music and I get the press releases, I don't read the press release until I've heard the song or the album.
Oh, cool.
I want to get myself. I like to hear the story that you're telling me through your your words, your way of setting it out, and then I can go back and go, oh, that wasn't what I got from that, or that was, yes, that's exactly what I thought. So that's what I love hearing, is how you guys link those songs and choose
Yeah,
it.
that's
I often think that would probably be the hardest part of the process. Writing it just happens when it happens, and recording it and adding to the sound, but then working out the order.
yeah. I myself never thought too much about the order, but it has come up a lot. Like, people would ask me, have you thought about what order you're going to put the songs in? And even when I was prompted, I still didn't feel like it was something I had to do just yet. And when the moment came, I was sitting at Kasey's kitchen bench, and she was setting a table outside, and she goes, oh, should we talk about the song order for the album? And I said, yeah, well, I've got a pen and paper. Why don't you throw out what you think, and we'll just scribble some things down. And the list that we came up with, it just stayed exactly that. It hasn't changed. It works. And I mean, we kind of planned for Worn Out West to be titled the track number 2, sorry. Yes. And the first track is a song called Northern Star, which is on my Facebook and Kasey's Facebook and our Instagrams as well. A video of myself, Kasey, Brandon, and Bill Chambers doing a beautiful a cappella version of Northern Star. And that's the first opening track of the album.
I loved that. It gave me goosebumps, actually. So that is so lovely to hear. We've got so many people popping in. Robert has asked, he said, what inspired the album? It sounds like your story has been a fair bit of yours inspired, is what's inspired you. But yeah, he said, what inspired it?
I guess the idea of writing and recording an album, the inspiration behind that is listening to albums as a kid. You know, that's kind of what it was all about. We had tape players in the car, and then we had CD players. And I can remember my brother, he'd turn up fresh out of a cattle station one night, late, smell of rum, and, you know, his swag and BO. And we could jump in the front seat of his car and flip through the CD case that everyone's having, the thick CD case, the plastic. You still got it. Oh, that's cool. Yes. Yeah, I wonder how many people still have those.
I still have tapes.
We could flick through all these CDs and these albums. He'd let us pick one to keep until he came back next time.
Wow.
And so that's kind of where the love for albums came, because we'd only have that one CD. And I think the first one he let me borrow was Keith Urban's Golden Road, and the second one was Barricades and Brick Walls, Kasey Chambers.
Yep. Wow, 2 very special albums, and yes, I have lots of memories to both of those albums. But that's really interesting, isn't it? Because I bet even to this day, you can hear any song off any of those albums over that time, and you'd be singing along to it. And I bet you, as soon as it ends, in your mind, you're already singing the next track.
You know what's coming next. Yeah. Random. No one pressed random.
Yeah, no. Why do you know? You don't.
No, we don't shuffle. Well, it was it was random back then, but it's shuffle nowadays.
And you did it, random, or it just wasn't a thing. And if anyone did, they were. You should get out of the car, leave.
Yeah, what the hell? We don't know what's coming up.
How do you know what to sing? I mean. But yes, or the skipping when you're traveling along the dirt road, and the skipping of the one in the tapes because they got tangled. I miss all of that.
Wind them back really slowly.
Yes, and really carefully so that it doesn't bend it, because you want to listen to it. Very special. Music, you used to have to earn your music. You used to have to work hard to get it to go.
And that's why you listen to an album from front to back. So I miss those days, and that's what I want people to do with my album, is just put it on, and a lot of thought went into that. So I hope people whack it on and listen to it all the way through. Yeah.
Now, we did have someone put in the comments, I think it might have been Robert, wanting to know, do you have a date or a rough time frame for the release of the album?
Not just yet, Robert. And the reason we don't have a date set just yet is because there's a bit between now and then that needs to be set date-wise. And So it's a bit difficult, but I do want it to be in the first half of next year. So hopefully you're not waiting any longer than that. And between now and then, there'll be a few singles coming out. So no one's going to be waiting for music for long.
That is so exciting. I am so excited to hear your story, and I really love that you've come to us from the beginning. And I hope you come back and we get to follow you through all of the journey. Because love the sound, and I love hearing someone that you are getting the most out of every part of the process, and I love that too. I think you can see that you're enjoying it, and it's just falling how it's meant to go. And Beck said, "When are you coming home to sing for us?"
Beck, I'll be there any day, mate, and I'll give you a big hug when I get there too.
Well, I know that we've kept you for more than half an hour. I'm so sorry. I'm glad I checked that you didn't have another interview straight after. We have got some footage from you singing at the Gympie Muster. Kelly, thank you so much for the footage. We would love for you guys to stay around. If you were at the muster, tell us if you were there for that moment and how you felt in that moment in the comments. But if not, enjoy the footage. It is live footage. It's not meant to be perfect. I think that is what makes it feel so much more authentic too. But such a special moment to have captured on film. And I hope that those of you that didn't get to see it enjoy it now. But thank you so much for coming and talking to us, Mitchell. It's been lovely having you.
Oh, Danny, thanks for having me, mate. It's been my pleasure.
Anytime. Guys, we'll be back next week. We do have Scott's in the background. I did mention it quickly before we went live. We do have 2 shows coming next week. So keep up in the comments, and we'll get them up as soon as we confirm the times. And we'll be back next week. But in the meantime, let us know in the comments what you think of this song and the moment at the muster. We'll see you all really soon.
I was born in rain, running in my blood. River knows my name, but it won't hold this blood. I'm a story told, buried under docks, shining up like gold. When I was raised in blood, it's pouring on the inside. I'm shackled in the heat. Let's keep it on the low, down a one-way street. Wear me down, but let it out, and I'm raining when I let this down. Yeah, I'm written on the 17th. Well, I was born out west. Now I'm rough and ready, just ready away my heart. Chasing down a tree, headed for a North Star. Sorrow is a fire in a weary town. Wrap it up with wire, but it can still burn down. Waging you won't win, caught and wait a while. You can break me